Let us show you the video from O'Keefe Media so you can watch it for yourself. And I'll just play it.
The Acorn
here we
story
go.
is that
There we go.
The irony of the Acorn story is that it took a 25-year-old with a hidden camera a few days to do what billion-dollar networks and journalists could not do in a decade. I spent 14 years creating the most effective nonprofit newsroom this country has ever seen. And in paving the way to establish citizen journalism, I have been defamed, arrested, raided, and ultimately removed from the organization I spent so much time developing credibility of. I always knew they would try to ruin the reputations of those who expose them, the pharma giants, the three-letter government agencies, and those who I thought I could trust. But in response, we are going to build an army of investigators and exposers. They have awakened a sleeping giant. I'm back. Remaining by my side are a small, tight-knit group of the most elite journalists in the world. Exposing corruption requires standing up to power because power hates sunlight. We are sunlight. Welcome to the O'Keefe Media Group, where we will never be shut down, because not only do I own it, but you own it too. Support us and sponsor our army of journalists by becoming a founding member today.
OMG. Let me. That was fast. I mean, what was that, a couple weeks ago?
Let me tell you how I knew James was going to be successful in this. I've known James for nigh on a decade. We both worked at Breitbart way in the early days, back when Breitbart was still doing Red Eye and all the old school Breitbart, right? And I didn't know about James, and Andrew Breitbart is like, hey, there's a guy who wants to play a pimp. And he's a white kid. And isn't that crazy? Like a white pimp. And he's gonna get like a fake.
You held up your phone when he called, and his name was saved in your phone, and you could see what you saved him in your phone as.
If someone can, like, it's been in my phone like that for 10 years because that's how I remember the kid. And so Andrew Breitbart is coming in like looking like a wild man at some DC party. He's like, this kid, he's white, he's gonna play a pimp, it's gonna be crazy. And he's got a prostitute too. And he's gonna collapse Acorn and the entire Obama regime. The people who got Obama elected, this guy's gonna come and blow him up. And sure enough, like, James did it. And James and I were like fast friends. He edited the Acorn video on my apartment couch.
Wow.
He edited the Acorn videos there. His pimp jacket was in my closet for quite a while before he was James O'Keefe. And then every single little things that he's done, some of the craziest stuff, some of the like, hey, I'm gonna try and seduce someone from CNN on my boat. like you remember that one?
No.
The old one? Yeah, the one. Yeah, wow. Like that was one that's gone. I remember a little sideways.
Jon Stewart praised him for the Acorn stuff.
Jon Stewart was like, we've been had. Yeah.
Well, he said, how come you couldn't get journalists to do this? Why is it up to this kid to go in and uncover this stuff? And then when James O'Keefe even shared this, when Jon Stewart showed the clips, he didn't insult or lie about what James O'Keefe uncovered. He went, this looks really bad. What is this?
South Park did an episode about James O'Keefe.
Really?
I mean, that's how we didn't understand. Like, it had permeated so big. South Park did an entire James O'Keefe episode. You can look it up.
Which one was that?
I'm sure the crowd, the chat will be able to source it. But James actually, we watched that together. It was wild. And so here's Trey Parker, Matt Stone doing a James O'Keefe Acorn. There's an Acorn South Park episode. Anyway, James just lets it rip. Dude, if you think you're gonna hold this guy back or you're gonna hurt his feelings or anything, like, he says it. He danced like Michael Jackson because it makes people mad. He just lets it rip. And there's no one who lets it rip. He's more like a skateboarder at heart. He's far more of like an X Games guy.
I think
he just wants to stick the landing.
I think they may have done him a favor with all of this stuff because they untethered him. Now he has an opportunity with all of his experience, knowledge, his followers, his fan base, the people who believe in him. Now he can start something new, clean, and done right, and shave off all the fat and the bloat that was probably holding him back.
Yeah, I think
it's an optimistic way to look at it. Look, I think Veritas getting hit the way it did sucks, for sure, because it was powerful and they did good work. But without James, what do they have left? It's got to be with James, and I think this is a real opportunity for him to do something stronger, better, faster, et cetera.
I think it's actually turned out to be it was a very good opportunity, and he seized the opportunity because if he had been released from the company or fired when they weren't in the spotlight, it would have nowhere near this impact of OMG taken off into the stratosphere like it did. So talk about taking a lemon and making lemonade, man.